Hello, my loves. I just wanted to connect with you today. I'm Samantha Faye. For those of you who have not watched any of my videos or tuned in before, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been a while since I've popped on. I have been deep in the throes of my own healing experiences. The eclipse window was quite potent. And I have also been fasting and cleansing and feeling the need to just be within and with myself. So if you're tuning in, if you could just type a little comment below so that I can see. Hi Lisa, I see you. Yeah, if you could just type a comment, let me know that you're here so that we could interact. I'd love that. Hi Roseanne, welcome, welcome, my love. All right, so I'd love to hear how many of you are in quarantine. What's going on in your part of the world? I know that events have been canceled here more and more lately, which has been actually unusual for the last year. So it's interesting to see what's happening. I did read an article yesterday saying that the vaccine is not mandatory. We were worried that it was going to be mandatory for expats or people traveling, that sort of thing, and I got a notification yesterday that that is not the case. So from where I'm sitting, that feels like a bit of a relief. Celebrating that as a win. Welcome Marcy and Spella. Hello Kat, Robin, hi loves. Yeah, really just wanted to circle back in with making a Facebook Live and seeing what comes through. So I'm just going to go ahead and simply open sacred space in prayer. And as we call in divine truth and love into the sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for each and every viewer, replayer, and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. Ioaya akaya niawa puaya. Ua suku niawa upua ayatania uakaya. Beautiful. So for those of us that are on the leading edge and knowing that we're on the leading edge, I'm going to share a little bit more information about that to kind of catch us all up to speed. So the leading edge is the creation, the leading edge are the people that are on the forefront of the creation of the new earth. Now, the creation of the new earth has been taking place and happening for several decades, even beyond that. But right now we have reached the quickening, whereas the template for the new earth has been created and is already there. Right now in here in this present time, we're creating the new earth with our physical human bodies. So for those of us who are on the leading edge, that's what this means. It's part of the conscious evolution and revolution that's taking place. So the more light there is on the planet, the more light there is on the planet, the more light there is on the planet. It grows exponentially. So because we are humans, we are the physical beings that are the conduits between realms, meaning we are multidimensional beings first. This physical body is what keeps us here in this material world, in experiencing time as minutes, seconds, hours, and so on. So we are the conduits between realms, meaning that our conscious body, our energy body, our spirit body, our emotional body, these components, these aspects of ourselves, because we have many. We have the pain body, we have the physical body. All of these aspects of ourselves are bringing in more and more and more light. This is why I keep being guided to fast. My body is like, no food right now, juices, and I'm supplementing, I'm getting my nutrients. I'm not doing a water fast. For me, that's a little bit too much. So I'm getting the nutrients that I need, but right now my body is saying, let's use this energy that you would be using for digesting and start focusing on ascending. So what that means is that on a cellular level, my body is wanting to vibrate higher than it has in the past. And in order to do so, I have to reprogram my cells, the cellular memory inside of my body. So I'm using myself as an example because I know a lot of people have been feeling the call to fast. A lot of people have been feeling the call to cleanse. A lot of people have been feeling the call to shift around their diet. Maybe reconsider, are you still eating dairy? Are you still eating meat? Are you still eating processed foods? Are you still eating GMO wheat and corn and soy? Those things, those are the categories of things that are going to actually, your body is going to need more time to digest, process them, as well as to then detox them after. The reason we cleanse and the reason we detox is to purify our physical field and our physical body from the things that we have eaten in the past that have embedded into our physical being on a cellular memory type of wavelength that now is upgrading into our crystalline DNA. So what is that? What does that mean? So one of my favorite things to talk about is when I was in high school, I was taught about junk DNA. In biology, I remember it was a glossary term. We knew that there were like 4 different codes in DNA that made sense. Then we had the chromosomes and the this and that. But then 96% of DNA was considered junk DNA, meaning that science had not understood what it was yet. It does not mean that it's junk. Inside of that 96% junk DNA, I believe that there are dormant codes. This means that there are codes inside of your DNA, inside of your physical body, that have not yet woken up yet, that have not yet been activated. So when we wake up mentally and we start to look at the earth and the world and the large corporations and the power control and the finances that are the gap in financial gain that's taking place on this planet right now, and we start to see, okay, concretely, this is what's manifesting in our physical reality because we can see it, and we start to wake up and tune in and go, wait, maybe the government doesn't have my best interests at heart. Maybe these corporations really are taking advantage of the governmental system. Maybe these things, and so we start to recognize, okay, these things are taking place. So if that's true, then why? Why is that taking place? What has occurred in order to get us into this place where the momentum has gotten so intense that we have to wake up? We have to wake up. We have to start taking full responsibility, full autonomous responsibility for ourselves. For ourselves first. This brings us into the sovereign nature of our own divinity, activating the full potential of our free will. Meaning we get to choose what we are experiencing here on this planet. We get to choose what our life is shaping into. We get to choose how this unfolding is going to be taking place for ourselves. So when you turn your free will into the choice of your conscious expansion, meaning your mind is expanding into new possibilities, your heart is expanding into new possibilities, and let me tell you, the consciousness of your heart goes far beyond the intelligence of your mind. It goes far beyond the capacity of the limits of your human mind. So the potential of your heart consciousness, when this becomes active, and a lot of reasons this is why our heart isn't active or activated, because of how many experiences we have had around pain associated with love. So the idea that love is pain, or that in order to open your heart, you have to move through the pain and the guards and the barriers that you have unconsciously and consciously built to keep people out, is also keeping your conscious awareness from being able to fully tap into the consciousness of your heart. So when you start awakening to this and you start forgiving and you start releasing and you start holding other people in compassion, people that you have held grudges against for years and years and years, the forgiveness that washes through you and the forgiveness that just moves through your body, and I can feel it now, it's like these little waves of purple and gold light that just permeate through your physical being as it moves through your energy body, remembering that you are forgiving others as a gift to yourself. It's a gift to yourself to forgive others. It's a gift to yourself to hold others in the light of compassion. It's a gift to yourself. You are lightening your field. You are lightening your experience. You are lightening and lightening and lightening. Here we go. You can feel it now. So we bring that energy of forgiveness through the crown of our head, down through our mind, in through clearing our communication channel, and into the heart space. And when we bring that forgiveness, and including self-forgiveness, oftentimes it's hardest to forgive ourselves for holding these things, for engaging in the back and forth. That when we are able to forgive ourselves, this is the beginning of the activation of the dormant codes. This is just the beginning, because see, at this point, usually the person that's waking up is still intellectually unconscious to the fact that forgiveness actually activates your crystalline DNA. This crystalline DNA structure is bringing your physical body into the vibrational resonance of the new earth. This means you are vibrating at a non-resonance to the chaos and the fear and the control and the lies and the manipulation that's taking place in the mass public. It's creating the mass hysteria. It's creating the internal policing around who's wearing a mask and who isn't, and who's doing the vaccination and who isn't, and this, that, and the other. That is the vibrational frequency that when you start forgiving yourself and you start forgiving others and you start pulling yourself out of it, you start resonating at a new mind. And when you start resonating at a new mind, your physical body starts saying, wait, how come all this other junk is still here? Let's start clearing that out. So I've been sober now for 2 years. Before that, I, kind of dabbled back and forth thinking I'd healed my relationship with alcohol for maybe about 9 months. And I was sober for a year and a half before that and back and forth. So over the last 7 years, I've had these stints of sobriety. I can tell you now, I'm 32. I started drinking when I was 14 consistently and stepped away from it more or less starting around the age of 25. I can tell you that I can feel myself physically still healing from the damage that I did to my body over the course of that 12-year period. My physical body is still upgrading from the pain that I had caused it, that I had brought in, that I had invited through drug use, through alcohol, through processed food, through a ton of sugar. I used to be fully in the camp of I have to eat meat, I have to eat meat, I have to eat meat, my body needs meat. Now I can tell you that I've been eating vegan, mostly raw vegan, for, a couple months now, and what I learned was that the soy was actually bringing the fatigue. That I actually have not an allergy to soy, but that soy was inhibiting my thyroid from being able to produce the hormones that it needed to regulate my system. So I was getting horribly fatigued when I would eat fruits and vegetables because I was also eating soy. So when I cut soy out of my diet, I cut gluten out of my diet, I've cut sugar out of my diet. Of course, I don't drink anymore. And continuing to purify, I can tell you that in this process of this purification, these are the experiences that I am now having. I'm now having the experiences of the lightened mood, of the elevated conscious. I'm aware of my DNA activating. I'm present to these sensations that are taking place because I am more clear that they are happening. So I'm not sharing this from a place of you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. But I am saying the trade-off of breaking the patterns and breaking the habits of the diet, let's just focus on diet, solely on food, that breaking those habits first is going to, the reward that you're going to experience is a heightened state of awareness, of conscious intelligence within your own being that's going to amplify and accelerate your forward movement into the conscious evolution of the new earth, which is here. We are creating it. There are way showers that are farther along than I am, that are farther along than you are, that are creating and carving that path for us to walk into it. And we thank them for that. They've carved it. Now it's up to us to take responsibility for our choices, to move forward, and to be able to continue to step and elevate in that direction that offers that movement, again, to our sovereign connection to source consciousness. It is our responsibility and solely our responsibility to create that clear connection. This is why people get so upset about vaccines. This is why people get so upset about 5G being here on the planet, because it is a non-consensual oppression and distancing of that clear connection to source. This is why people get upset about it. Of course, many other reasons, but for the people that don't understand why 5G is that bad, or for the people that don't understand why vaccines could possibly be that bad, or for the reason that people don't understand why people get upset about these things, this is the reason. It's the clarity, it's the purification, and it's the purely and solely consensual connection to source consciousness. I can feel you feeling it too, right? We feel that elevation. We feel that shift happening in our container now, allowing the ahas to roll through. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Keep that energy flowing. Keep that energy moving. So for some of us, we have an emotional addiction to cheese. For some of us, we have an emotional addiction to meat. For some of us, we have been brainwashed by commercials telling us that eggs are healthy and beneficial. Feel into this. This is what I'm learning. That the vibrational resonance of a dead animal, it doesn't vibrate high, no matter how you cut it, no matter how you try to, change the story. The vibrational resonance of a dead animal has a particular frequency. The vibrational resonance of dairy that came from a hormone-induced cow, and we're not going to go into the cruelty of all these other things, we're just looking at the vibrational resonance of how the dairy product gets in front of you. The vibrational resonance of that is not elevating your consciousness. The molecular DNA that you are eating from that animal, it's not elevating the consciousness of your DNA. It's not elevating the consciousness of your awareness. So when we're looking at this and we're feeling this resonance and we're hearing it, because we've heard it before, right? I know I've heard it for years. And I stayed committed to that. I'm blood type O, I have this, I have that, I have to eat meat, I have to do all of these things. Well, my physical body got to a point of being very ill, so I had to start paying attention to what my physical body needs and wants to feel nourished and to feel complete and to feel like I am continuing to move forward and elevating myself. And so I'm not coming to you from a place of being on a high horse. I'm coming to you from a place of this is what I have learned and am learning from where I have been, where my family, big meat eaters, big, I hear my grandma's voice in my head all the time, finish your protein, finish your protein, finish your protein. Like that was the loop, the affirmation that was looping in my mind. So for me to be able to come out to Bali to sort out my health concerns on my own, which they do run in my family line, so other family members have experienced it, and I'm choosing to not take the path that they have taken to heal. I'm choosing the path of fruits, vegetables, meditation, clarity, and I'm sharing with you this is what I'm learning from my own personal experience. Now let's take a bell pepper, for example. a bell pepper, or even a fruit. I eat fruit and I am amazed. I'm like, this comes out of the ground. The flavor in this comes out of the earth. The flavor in this comes out of a seed. This is incredible. This is insatiable. This is like a miracle in and of itself. And so what I'm feeling is I'm becoming more and more in tune, and I'm becoming more and more sensitive to the frequencies that I am ingesting, that are around me, that are in everything. I'm becoming more aware and more aware that it isn't just the nutrients, it's actually the bioavailability. The bioavailability is the light that is in the food. It's the light that is in living plants. It is the light that is in a sprout. It is the light that we eat that is available to us. It's bioavailability. So we're actually eating a higher vibrational frequency. We're eating a higher state of plant consciousness that's going into our physical form, and that's actually helping to elevate us on a nutrient level, on an emotional level, on an energetic level, on a spiritual level. Our physical body is healing from other things, other vibrational resonances that have been stored in our physical body. I noticed yesterday, this is a little bit more personal, but I noticed yesterday I was eating some almonds that I had soaked overnight to make almond milk with. And my mother, when I was younger, she used to have raw almonds in her car all the time. That was her snack. So I have this very strong association with raw almonds. Now, what was interesting is that since I've been fasting and since I've been juicing, I'm more keenly aware of what I put in my body and how my body reacts to it, because I'm like trying one thing at a time and seeing what happens. So I got extremely bloated. Like my stomach went all the way out. I got nerves. I had anxiousness. I got a headache. I had all these things. I'm like, is it the almonds? I've been eating almonds my whole life. What happened with the almonds? And then I realized that I have this emotional association and this emotional connection to anxiousness and anxiety because of the emotional association that I have with some of the experiences that I've had with my mother. Now, the memories that I have of eating almonds with her in the car are really wonderful memories. And then, of course, I have some other memories that created that loop when I was a little girl of the anxiousness or anxiety that keeps rolling through. So, as I'm looking at that and breaking it down, and mind you, these are past memories. But that imprint was alive, and so now, because I am clear, because I am willing to reprogram that association so that for me, my body can eat almonds, and it is a very healthy choice. It is a very uplifting experience, that it is something that continues to elevate me. I am willing to do that emotional work, and also holding gratitude to it, knowing that there's a place in my stomach where if I'm having this reaction to food and healing my body through food, and food is my medicine, but my body is having an adverse reaction to what is my medicine, then there's an emotional link to it. And so that emotional link, I've been able to sort through and heal through and nurture that little girl self of me that was still carrying that anxiety that was getting triggered and lit up around the almonds. So it's this sort of fine-tuning that we start to get into. And when we get into this sort of fine-tuning, it isn't just with our diet, it starts to become with everything. And so that is us being on the leading edge. This is just one facet of the lane of responsibility that is ours to hold as we move forward into the new earth. It's a beautiful thing. And there's always room for more forgiveness. There's always room for more compassion. There's always room for more love. Because even that little bit of anxiety that I was unconsciously holding in my belly around or in association with my experience with my mother, now that I am an adult and willing to take responsibility for these things that I am unconsciously, now consciously carrying, and now that it has become conscious, it is my choice to offer forgiveness to myself for holding it, offer forgiveness to my mother, offer forgiveness and compassion to all these places, then what happens is that on an energetic wavelength, my mother is able to also receive that because it's happening in the dissonance, in the field of an exchange of energy between she and I, telepathically, that as I am healing these experiences, and I can bring that into a higher resonance of deep love and deep acceptance and deep appreciation, because now this association isn't just helping me, this association is also doing what it can to serve you as a mirror to what it is that you are holding to associations with food. Because food is how we bond. When you eat with somebody, you bond with somebody. So as we are taking responsibility for our divine sovereign autonomy, our alignment with source energy, and what happens is when we start to bring in more light, and we bring in more light, and we bring in more light, and we're embodying more light, the light starts to show where we have those little dark pockets, or it has that little inconsistency, or has that little thing. So that's where we go in and we fine tune, because bringing in more light allows us to see where we have the limits that aren't allowing us to embody more light. I know it's not quite so ladylike, but I did just burp, and that burp to me is also a signifier that I'm releasing that energy from my solar plexus. Burping, yawning, indigestion, headaches, sinuses, trouble hearing, all these are symptoms of healing. They're all symptoms of detoxing, of things coming out. So there's energetic detox and there's physical detox. So it all takes place. And the point of all of this, and why I feel that it is important for me to share this part of my journey with you, is that I believe that the new earth is here. I believe that we are stepping into the new earth. I believe that we are embodying our highest vibrational potential and capabilities. And our highest vibrational potential and capabilities is embodying the oneness of all that is. It is embodying the oneness of our Mother, Father, God. It is embodying the oneness of the connection that is all of us in unison together. And breathe. So there is a deep sense of responsibility to be on the leading edge. A lot of us who are on the leading edge feel this deep sense of responsibility to save the earth and to save all of its inhabitants. May all beings be free. The way that we liberate all beings is by liberating ourselves and by being such a conscious connection and conscious anchor of the light that others feel the sense of that foundation and start to go, I want some of that. Thank you. I would like some of that. Thank you. Please bring me more. I would like some of that. And the more light that we anchor here on this earth, that heaven is on earth, that heaven is not somewhere we go when we die, that heaven is here on earth. That we create it. We are the ones we have been waiting for. And we have an extraordinary amount of support from our multidimensional friends who are not embodied, from our Ascended Master friends, from our star family friends, from our loved ones who have passed friends. We have so much support. We are not here doing it alone. We all felt, let me put this into perspective, we all felt the fear of the potential of forced mandatory vaccinations. And part of the reason we felt the fear of that is because we all knew that the element of control of the powers that be that could enforce that would be detrimental to all human experience because of the fight that it would evoke in so many of us. And the fear came through the element of control, of the oppression, of saying, how could they possibly do that? Recognizing that if we give that power, then we are committing to our own oppression. Now let me tell you that the beautiful thing about the responsibility of your own sovereign divinity and your own sovereign expression is that you can do it alone, by yourself, locked in your house. In fact, that's generally the best way to do it. To get through a lot of the brunt of what it is that's coming through for you to be able to see and feel and experience a new state of your own existence. To let go of the shedding. The reason for this being is that our brain creates neural pathways that go on a consistent loop when we get into a routine. And when we get into a routine, it's a lot harder to break out of that routine, to break these patterns and to shift this focus. So when that pattern is already broken, and the things that we used to do that we knew are now not there, our brain kind of goes into a, well, what now, what now, what now, what now, what now? And when your brain is in that what now sort of state, that's when you say, brain, listen to your heart. Drop in. Drop into your heart space. The heart knows. The heart always knows. The heart always knows. Mind thinks. Heart knows. Intellectual intelligence is not going to get us into the new earth. Heart intelligence is creating the new earth. Embodying the consciousness of your heart fully is the full activation of your embodiment into the new earth. You are not going to be transcending out of your physical body. Your physical body is coming. We are creating the new earth physically. Now what that means is that some of us in the fifth dimensional frequencies are also simultaneously, hello, I have a body, living here while embodying fifth dimensional codes, fifth dimensional frequencies. So we are shifting in this way. Consuming dead animals, consuming dairy products, consuming processed dead food, consuming genetically modified wheat, soy, corn. They all have a vibrational resonance that is not of the frequencies of the new earth. It's as simple as that. When we talk about vibrational resonance, it's as simple as that. We don't need to get into all of the other things and all the other reasons and all the other stuff. I'm just simply focusing on a vibrational resonance. So the bioavailability that is there for you in eating raw fruits and raw vegetables is extraordinary. juicing raw fruits and raw vegetables, the amount of nutrients that your body needs is satiated in eating and drinking and consuming the bioavailability and the information that's on the planet. Now, let me tell you, we'll just use an example of a mango. So, yes, I'm talking specifically, Kat, about genetically modified food. It's a little bit different than ancient grains or ancient corn or the sacred. Yes, so same, corn, mango, whatever we want to talk about here. Now, a mango, for example, inside of it, the vibrational information, the vibrational resonance inside of this mango that is of the light frequencies, that is coming down from the intelligence, and that's what we're looking at. The conscious intelligence that the mango has stored inside of it, inside the seed. So we as humans look at the seed and we're like, oh, it's a seed. The seed inside of it has all of the information to transmute dirt, micronutrients in dirt, into a trunk, into leaves, into fruit that then comes into our body. So we consume that intelligence. We consume that blueprint. We consume the resonance of that particular information. Like right now, my body wants beets. All my body wants is beets. And I believe that my body wants beets because I think my kidneys are a little bit off kilter. They're not quite like, I'm bringing my kidneys back. And I think my kidneys are telling me that because the beets, the color of beets, and the shape of beets are very similar to that of the kidney. And what does the kidney do? The kidney purifies the bloodstream. What does beetroot look like? It looks very close and similar to blood. So our body wants what also looks like it. In ancient Chinese medicine, you'll see different herbs or roots or barks or these things that when they put into tinctures or tonics, they literally are there to heal the same thing inside of our body that it looks like. We are a part of this macroorganism that is called Earth. Mother Nature did not get it wrong. Mama Gaia did not get it wrong. Everything that our body needs in order to increase the vibrational resonance of where it is that we are going in stepping into the new Earth. The new Earth is not about harm. The new Earth is love. The new Earth is conscious evolution. The new Earth is forgiveness. The new Earth is divine resonance, divine forgiveness, divine peace. That means may all beings be free. So beautiful when you feel into it. Once you feel into it and you get a taste of it and you start to realize what you've been missing your whole life from the programming of TV or the commercials or hearing the incredible edible egg over and over again or beef, it's what's for dinner over and over again. Where's the mango commercial? Why are we being programmed and taught to believe that these practices are not insane? And like, I'm stepping myself out of it. Again, I'm not sitting on a high horse. I'm just like, I'm fucking shocked. I'm in awe because I was steeped in that. I was pickled in it. We all were pickled in it. We all were looking at it going, yeah, that must be true because I've seen it in a commercial over and over again. The milk got milk, like the mustache, we all know what that is. There's so much calcium in leafy greens that our body does not need to consume what is meant for a baby animal to be able to receive calcium. Like these things that are there, and the debate and the back and forth, it's the exact same thing that you'll see with people defending news or people defending the government system. It's the exact same thing. It's a disbelief that what they have been told their whole life could possibly be a lie. That's what it is. That's the back and forth. It's not the actual, like, facts that the bioavailability in a mango is significantly higher to that than the bioavailability in a piece of beef. That's not what they're arguing. People argue this because they don't want to be wrong, and they don't want to be led to believe that what they were taught their entire life wasn't true, or was to manipulate them, or was to get them to believe or think in a certain way. When I look at this, this was also what got my wheels spinning and turning, is like, I have vegan friends, and every time I see pictures of them, they look illuminated. They look bright. And people are telling me I look great. I look radiant. I look shiny. I feel it in my bones. And when I tell them about my diet, it's like, oh, that's great for you. And I'm like, you can have it too. You can have it too. It's available to all of us. It feels good to come out of hiding about this, because I was afraid that I would offend people. I was afraid that I would be like that annoying vegetable and fruit eating person. And it's kind of funny because I feel like now I get it. Period. Now I get it. Now I'm starting to really go, oh. And I think what's really helped me is being on Bali and not being in a place that's so socially conditioned in the Western United States that I grew up in. And also being away from, like, the concrete beliefs around my family, because I was also raised in my family, obviously. And so breaking from those patterns has also been quite painful, because I don't want to disappoint them, and I don't want to make myself feel like so much of an outsider from my family unit that scares me. And that has scared me, and that has stopped me in the past from really being able to fully go into my diet and my way of being the way that I want it to be for me. And I think these are the parts of choosing to change our diets and choosing to change our idea or mentality that a lot of people don't talk about. Like the emotional and mental kind of obstacle course that we have to traverse in order to get to that point. For me to be able to get to this point of having to like sharing this video with you, and I came on here not with the intention of talking about this, but I always know that whatever it is that comes through is what's meant to come through. Like for me, I'm experiencing a liberation in what that has been as well. That I don't have to be this like closet vegan that's like feeling that I need to be ashamed of the choices that I'm making so as to not offend people. What? I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but it's true. For crying out loud. So we breathe in the divine resonance of the new earth. For that, I am willing. For that, I am absolutely willing. I am absolutely willing to look at my patterns. I'm absolutely willing to look at my programming. I'm absolutely willing to look at what I was force-fed through media. To believe what is good for my body. This is my body. I get it. I get to put what I want. I get to kiss whoever I want. I don't have to if I don't want to. That's not what I was taught. I was not taught that. Through social conditioning, I was not taught that. I was taught that I don't know what's best for my body. You see my little dragonfly friend? Is he gonna come around? And now I know. I know how to listen to my body. I know how to listen to my organs. I know how to feel when there's something is off. I know how to check. You know how I check? It's like this. This is Palo Santo. This is not a mango. But I will take whatever it is that's in question. I will put it to my heart, and I will ask my body, is this of resonance that is of my highest and good? Is this something that will help my body? And if I lean forward, it's a yes. If I lean back, it's a no. It's that simple. You literally just put the resonance on your heart. You're standing, feet together, parallel, and you just ask, does this resonate with the frequency that my body needs right now? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? It's that simple. If it's a no, you don't eat it. And then your mind is like, but I want it. My mind is like, but I'm addicted to the anxiousness. And I must eat the almonds. It's true. And then by the awareness of purification, it comes to light. And I, again, take the emotional responsibility to move through it and shift into a new awareness of my own divine intelligence that is supportive to bringing my body on a cellular resonance to the new earth to activate the crystalline DNA within. I think it's worth it, you guys. I really think it's worth it. All right, so with that being said, I am going to go ahead and finish up this video with you all as I am going to go dance. Because dancing makes me happy. So with that, I hope this serves you. Please share it with friends. Please comment below. Tag your people that you feel that they would get a good message from this. Or you can just say what I have shared with you and illuminate the sky as well. Thank you for being on the leading edge with me. Thank you for having and being willing to have the challenging conversations. Thank you for being willing to shift into the new earth with me. Thank you for continuing to create that foundation that anchors light on this planet, that continues to support the liberation of all sentient beings so that they may feel that frequency and resonance within them. The more you activate your own dormant DNA codes, the more those closest to you feel the resonance as well. In the same way that when somebody close to you is hurting, you can feel it. When you and the people that are closest to you are resonating high, the ripple effect is exponential. So stay lit. Get high on your own supply every day. It's free. I love you. As we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received with courage, self-love, and compassion. Our session here is very much complete. And if you'd like information about Moon Club, you want the actual transmissions, the actual meditations, the actual work, the download work that we do inside the membership zone, inside the MONAD Society, become a member, let me know. Send me a private message. I'll send you the link and you can join us. All right, my sweet loves, I love you dearly. I wish you the best. And for those of you in the Higher Self course, I'm getting ready and prepared for our final call. Oh my gosh, I already feel it pulsing through my body. It's going to be so exciting. All right, my loves. That's enough. Ciao.